This is our first ever candidate from Even Break who got a job. I'd love you to introduce you to Jean. Hello, Jean.
Hi, Jane.
I'd just like to ask you to tell us about how you felt before you found Even Break.
I was 27 years old. I was in a wheelchair. I had been able to work beforehand, but because of the wheelchair, I couldn't continue in the job that I was in. And nobody would even offer me an interview. All people could see was the wheelchair. And I felt like my life was over.
Somebody told you about Even Break and you found a job on Even Break. How did that change your life?
It gave me confidence. It gave me the chance to prove that I was able to work. It gave me the chance to prove that even though I needed to work from home, I was just as committed and just as competent as anybody else within the organisation. I was able to meet my deadlines. I was able to keep up to date. It was fantastic. Jane and the Even Break staff were there any time of day or night to be on hand if I was feeling despondent, if I was feeling upset, just to give me a kick up the backside, just to be a shoulder to listen to. They helped me to assess my skills. They gave me the push that I needed to keep on going when I felt like I wanted to give up.
Fantastic.
So they're much more than just the job provider.
Next we're going to go and have a look at one of our community holiday sessions. This is part of our Strive Dance Club. We're really proud of the participation that was involved in Strive. Over 100 young people each week involved at Spen Valley Sports College. And what we realised was that lots of young people want to be involved in dance, but it's not always affordable, it's not always inclusive, and we wanted to try and remove those obstacles and get young people involved in dance. And we put on an end of year show where we had over 500 people watching this year. Next I'd like to introduce Tom Whitfield. Tom's one of our real success stories. I met Tom a number of years ago when I was teaching and he was a student. He wasn't the most academic young person, but he had an obvious talent for sports leadership. So as soon as we set up Legacy Sport, we got Tom on board and he'll tell you a little bit about his story.
I started out doing some sports leadership and I was working while I was at school. I actually did some voluntary hours and I obviously wanted to become a sports coach from an early age. I then went and did some work for Legacy Sport. I did some NGB qualifications, eventually going on to do bikeability training as well. Went and did curriculum sessions, a lot of work in schools, done lots of events, and now I am the lead instructor at Legacy Sport.
Hello! Since we started in 2008, we've worked with 65 different women in Southampton. We've got a waiting list of 75, and at the moment we're working with 8 women here at our factory. We're based in Northern, which is within the 5% most deprived wards in England. Mrs. Battle, she's from the Sudan. Battle has got twin daughters, and she's very proud of the fact that she used her wages to pay for her driving lessons and her car, and her daughters now have a mum with a job and a car. She says to me, Becky, I am ambitious. I want my daughters to be proud of me. And we think that she is proud of being here. We're currently delivering 132 hours of wages a week into the community that we're based in. Our factory is operating only 3 days a week at the moment, so that's only going to go up.
Hello again. I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about the impact that New Caledonia Woodlands has. Because we're a social enterprise and an environmental enterprise, we have 2 types of impact, a social impact and an environmental impact. And I think there's a lot of parallels between the two. I think they mesh together quite a lot, and one kind of comes with the other. So a lot of the work that we do is in woodland settings, and we're typically managing quite neglected woodlands. So we are managing them in a way that improves them. It makes them more biodiverse. It means that there's more species there, not just tree species, but also grass and shrub species, insects, mammals, birds. And we're making them richer, really, and we're making them more resilient as well, more able to kind of withstand the stresses that the woodlands face in our planet, I guess. And I think we're helping them to realise their potential and to be as rich a woodland as they can be. And I think there's a lot of parallels there between that and the kind of social work, or the work we do, our social impacts.
Got it. I'm Daniel. I had an idea that I would be able to come in and do little bits of everything and then understand what I want to do. Yeah. I've gone on site for 2 days now with these kitchen fitters and I know what I want to do. I want to be a kitchen fitter. I've seen how they work, I've seen how easy the work is. That's what I want to do. There's good money in there. At the end of the day, part of the reason I'm doing this is for money. It's the reason we're all doing this. We want to better ourselves and get some money. this is the only route I can see to get some money. I've got no education, so building lives is going to help me along the lines of getting on site and getting these contacts.
The whole point of Building Lives is to get people into sustainable construction careers. To people who normally wouldn't be able to go and get an apprenticeship themselves independently. So often people with no qualifications, we work with a high proportion of NEETs, in fact 70%, and also we work with 50% people from BME backgrounds. And everyone that we work with, generally it's a true reflection of the demographic in the boroughs in which we work. And so we don't necessarily target people except for women. We want to get more women in construction. But other than that, it just is literally those people who need it most.